So what you see here is the Lego knockoff Voltron, and this thing shipped DHL Express, and it cost me $85. Let me just show you what's in the package. So the real thing has 2,321 pieces. So you notice it is at least packaged in separate packages, and you could see even there's like those little inscribed pieces with no stickers. So you can see there. Now the original cost $179.99, which get all of this out. Just crazy. So I'm going to get all of this out, show you so this doesn't actually come in a box. It ships like this through DHL Express. So I got this on eBay for 85 bucks. I have a link in the description area of this video where I got this from. And once again, it is a knockoff. I saved basically $100 buying the knockoff. And you can see right in the box there's the manual. Wow, look at this. 2,321 pieces. It's just a mountain of parts. And here is the thick manual that you see. And it'll probably take me a couple of days to build this, and I'll show you the results. And I'll notify you if there's any, basically any missing pieces here. So the good thing is that the bags are actually numbered. So I've sorted out the bags, and you start to notice the pattern for the Voltron. So up at the top here, there is the yellow, and in the middle here, there's the blue, and then down here, there's the black for the black lion, and right here is the red for the red lion, and the green stuff for the green lion. So it looks like it's sorted out pretty well, and just looking at the instruction manual, it also references the bags. So just to give you an example of the numbered bags, you see there's the 16 here. Now oddly enough, I was trying to figure out what this number was. It looks like a B, but it turns out to be a 9 because there were a bunch of 9s missing. And that's the 8 right there. So, so here's a bag for 5, and so on and so forth. So, pretty much you could see here that there is, some method to the madness, even for this knockoff. And so they didn't skimp there with basically, giving you a hard time on where to start. So that's a good thing. Now, this particular brand here that I bought, the knockoff, is called Lepin. So, just keep that in mind, and I will have the link once again in the description area of the video of where I got this particular one. And, I guess let me get started in building this. And usually I like building these things straight all the way through without rest. So I'll let you know how long it'll actually take for me to build this particular one. So I just finished building my Lego Voltron here, and I was very impressed by how big it actually was. So the size is a little bit deceptive in the pictures on the web because you really think it is a lot smaller. So I just want to give you a feel here for how large this is. So this is actually 16 inches from the toe to the head. And then the wingspan itself is actually 18.5 inches. So this is a lot bigger than the sort of action figure size, such as the Lion Bot or any of the plastic versions. And it makes sense because the Legos have to be a little bit bigger for this to be constructed. So I have here a normal 8-ounce size cup just to once again give you an aspect ratio of just how big this thing really is. So before I go up close, I also have a Voltron sort of minifigure here where you could also compare the size. So I have it down here, and you could just compare just how large and tall this thing actually is. So just to go over some of the points of articulation, the head itself does, swivel back and forth, and the arms themselves do move. So you could move this up and down, and you could also twist the arm, and it holds in place for both the elbow and the shoulder, and the wings themselves do bend back here. Now the one thing it doesn't do is it doesn't turn this way, so there's no way to turn the elbow facing forward such that the fist is facing sort of like a attack mode with the head. And the wrist itself also does not twist, it is fixed like that, and that is the same for both of these arms. Now this is amazingly very stable. I have this not leaned against the wall. There is sort of 5 inches behind there. Now just to show you how stable it is, you could shake it. So I'm shaking it, and it is very stable. The reason for that is because the base here is very wide, and if you look behind here, there's actually stabilizers in the back here. So one thing that when they did design this is meant to stand, and to stand in place, stand alone by itself without any support. And once again, I could shake it as hard as possible, and it just stays in place. I could even shake the table like this, and once again it stays in place. So when you're putting on a display case, you don't have to worry about it falling. Now let me zoom in and show you some of the details here. Now I didn't buy the Lego version of this. This is actually a third-party knockoff, but it is very high quality, and I'll have the links in the description area. I bought this for 80 bucks, and you could find it for as low as $75, $70, versus the $180 plus tax that you would have to buy if you bought the Lego version. And this is just as detailed and is basically the exact same thing. So let me just show you here some of this zoomed in detail. So that's the head, and I prefer the robot mode as opposed to the lions. The lions are not as impressive, and you could see here the emblem. Now the waist here, you could see is sort of like a pedestal, and as I mentioned before, this thing is so solid and stable, and it is way larger in person than you would see it in the pictures. In the pictures, it looks very deceptively small, whereas when you're really looking at this in person, there's a wow factor to it because it is so huge. Now, here is the red lion and the head of the red lion. And just going over some of the joints, you see there are ball joints there. And the shoulder itself is sort of like a gear that is stable. And this is the same thing with the green lion here. And you can see the curvature of that particular piece, as well as the head of the lion. And just looking at the detail belt. Now I really like the way this is done. Almost, the waist is like a pedestal here, once again. And, just trying to get some focus here on this. It is just very impressive. Once again, when it transforms, the wings, push backward like that. And you could see the transforming head of the lion itself. And this, again, swivels. Now as far as the legs, you see how it's bowed out like that. That is by design for the stability. So when I pull back here, you see it is angled. The legs are angled this way and that way in a V shape, which gives it its stability, and that's by design. You see these tails also articulate, and you know they turn and they're very flexible. And just going into some of the details of the lion head itself. Now the jaws do open up, so you could see the teeth there for the particular jaws. And this is the same for the yellow lion. The mouths open. And this is actually my miniature Voltron here. And let me set this aside, give you a better look. And you can see the details of the legs here. Fold it. And just showing you the arms here of the lion. And same with this red lion. And just the claws. So just looking at the claws here. But this thing is very well designed and put together. And once again, I'll have this in the description area of my video. And I hope this helps in you also deciding just how awesome this thing is. And you know, hope this helps, and please subscribe, and thank you for watching. Just want to show really quickly some of the accessories. So this is the shield itself, and the shield has this thing angled where you could put it in the arm here. Now a little thing that's kind of funky with the sword is that you actually have to take apart the sword and, you know, slip the hole on the top and on the bottom for it to hold the sword. I sort of prefer it just freestanding like this. But that's really it. I hope this helps, and please subscribe, and thank you for watching.